Great Reset. And we think of it as being like some sort of new monetary system that's being brought in, and you will be shifted over from like fiat currency to some sort of digital euro book thing, and it will all be controlled on like an app with a social credit score and stuff. And I thought to myself, yeah, that's a shift, that's a change, but it's not like a great reset. And then when I started looking into this, the orphan train thing, and it's the quick synopsis that I was reading was saying that there was between like 1854 and 1929, they shifted 200,000 kids from supposedly like overcrowded cities in the US, like to rural areas in the Midwest. Now, the official words for this is that these 200,000 kids that were shifted were either abandoned or put up for abandoned or unwanted, which I would have thought was the same thing. So even if you think about it, even if you say, right, well, we'll average it out at a that there was 200,000 kids, but they both came as brothers and sisters from two child families. You're still missing 100,000 pairs of parents. That's 200,000 parents from this. So where did these kids come from that were shipped around the country? Why was this? Why do we only have why does our records go back that long? So shaky and so sketchy. And essentially because I've been, for anyone that hasn't found the YouTube channel yet, on my lunch break, I implore you to go and find it. If you're interested in like hidden history stuff, maybe like Tartaria thing, like where the sort of old world has gone, I don't think anybody is doing a better job than on my lunch break. And if for some reason someone listens to this that either knows him or is in contact with him, I'd fucking love to get him on this show. But yeah, that's the way I'm kind of terrifying myself with this stuff now. Is maybe Dave's right. Maybe this is the ushering in of new gods. Maybe this has happened multiple times, and this entity that exists above government and above like the service level just knows that there's a certain point we can let humanity get to before we start losing control of it, before we get like, I don't know, for instance, let's say the instantaneous transfer of information. Let's say the ability for four people in completely different parts of the world to get together and talk to this in front of hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people through multiple platforms that they can do instantaneously at once, allowing one person to become a news network.
Right.
Maybe that's happened multiple times. And when that happens, they have to hit the Great Reset button in order to keep control on humanity.
So this is our fault.
That's the Tower of Babel.
Mm-hmm.
Is it not?
Yeah.
Think about every single time, right? Every single time that because we're on the precipice of no language barrier, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Samsung buds that can translate in real time.
Yeah.
Right. Why were humans struck down? Right? Because we got too close to the gods. And, that's when they decided, all right, sever the language, right? Split them up, separate languages. So factionalism is what is keeping us from a united front. And we look at the UFO community. Just look at the UFO community. Factions upon factions.
Oh, yeah.
You got your Dr. Greer lovers. Dr. Greed. I mean Greer. Sorry, misspoke. Cough. Just kidding. The Elizondo folk.
Get the horse picture out, Ollie.
The horse.
Show him the horse picture. Finish him off.
The PG-13 one. Yeah.
There you go.
Bro. Oh, that was so perfect. Clip that. Timestamp it, somebody.
We can't figure out why he won't come on the show. We've been asking for years.
Well, I tell you what, you wouldn't get a word in edgewise. Dude, he's so fucking jacked, man. Look at that guy. That guy's leading Disclosure. And if you don't like it, fucking flat. Just kidding. But even in the community, we can't get it together. We factionalize. We got our, camps. It's like, and Dr. Greer, honestly, is a good case study, right? Because I think he did start with some good intentions. I think he started pure and was corrupted by money, greed, and essentially an untapped well of money. I mean, the guy charges $6,000 to meditate on a wooden spike. What the fuck is going on? Who's paying that?
Do you have that picture of him with all those notable figures? I believe that was the first picture he was referencing.
There you go.
Yeah.
Have you seen
this before?
The Rockefeller Ranch picture. Yes. So, wow. I haven't seen this in a while, though. So, look at. Why did my camera just shut off?
We can't be
They're
talking
onto
about
us.
certain these things. They know. You
Dude,
can't talk about Bigelow and Linda Moulton Howe cozying up.
I think that Greer really did start with pure intentions. I think he was corrupted along the way, but I think he's a really good case study in this, in the sense that he preaches that all non-human intelligence is they've advanced past hostility. They've advanced past. They're all our brothers. They're here to help us. We should welcome them with open arms, right? And we all need to come together as one community. Yet every single person that comes out and tries to shed more light, he's the first person to call them a disinformation agent.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So he's not practicing what he preaches. So it's hard for me to take a guy like that serious.
Yeah, you're getting the same thing right now, aren't you, with David Icke? And
yes,
he will sit there, say how he's been persecuted over the years, and then will instantly try and throw Alex Jones, Joe Rogan, Andrew Tate, anyone that happens to come up, he'll launch them under the bus as being like part of the problem. And you go, well, hang on a second, because they seem to be saying okay things about you. So what's the deal here? Stephen Greer thing.
I've always wondered that with Ike. Why he's like that.
The Stephen Greer thing, I think you're right. I think he probably started with some sort of pure intentions. I remember
he just parked his ass at Money Making Avenue and never left.
I don't even necessarily think it's that, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's obviously part of it. I think the guy has clearly made some money and is making money through what he's doing. But you've got to wonder why. I mean, look at the Disclosure Project, for instance. The Disclosure Project, if we look at like these things at face value, should have been disclosure. There was enough people and enough credible people that came forward with stories that the world should have took notice. The world didn't take notice. The world didn't care. We were far too busy with everything else. And I wonder whether that was like, oh, okay, well, I tried. And I still think, like, when you watch the documentaries with him on, I still think he means what he says. Like we often say this. I think me and Dave brought this on a podcast the other day because we were talking about who was it? Who we were talking about, Dave, that constantly gets thrown under like the shill bus and stuff like that. Us, yeah.
Pretty sure it's us.
I don't believe in the lifetime actor theory. Oh, he's dead. No, yeah, I don't believe in the lifetime actor theory. I think the idea that Greer could just be like on the grift all the time, not care about what he's doing, not care about or even believe what he's saying. I think the best salesmen believe in the product they're trying to sell.
They do, and I think
That's why Ollie's such a good dildo salesman.
I am a good dildo salesman, the best.
Yeah,
He tastes everyone himself.
even the returns.
Exactly. Quality assurance.
Think about all the stories that Greer has inserted himself into,
Mm.
Oh,
right?
That's what she said.
He has a need to be in the mix of all of it. He's always somehow a part of it. And I'm not going to say I don't watch every documentary, every podcast that he goes on, because I do. And I think that more of the UFO community, more of the paranormal, when I say UFO community, I mean everything, all related phenomena. I think we all need to be a little bit better at remaining neutral and hearing what everybody has to say and start separating the wheat from the chaff, right? Take what you need, right? Start looking for the dots, connecting them, right? Because even though Greer is maybe out of touch with some things, the guy does know stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
There's no doubt, right? There's no doubt that he knows things and that he has talked. I mean, the picture you just showed.
Mhm.
I mean, just look at that picture. Look at the amount of look at the heavy hitters there,
Oh yeah.
right? So that's and then you can make that argument. Yeah, look, I've had Linda on the show. Actually, that's the only one I've had on out of that group. But is that Bigelow there?
Yes, they're snuggled together.
Holy
Next time you
shit.
have her on the show, you should ask her about that.
Well, I never noticed that Bigelow was in that picture.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn.
I'd be curious to know what the Rockefeller J. White Ranch in Wyoming is really like. I get what you're saying, though. For Greer, the way I look at it with Greer, I think he started out with the best of intentions. I think he's actually done a tremendous amount of good for the quote-unquote, air quote, UFO community, whatever that means. But he's bringing the topic up to a lot of people because he has valid credentials. People will take him seriously. And he's spoken to how many tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people have heard this story from him and at least sparked their curiosity moving forward. You know,
Bingo.
he's done that. He's done more than any of us.
Bingo.
Right? He has gotten people into the subject to question the narrative, to get involved and understand that there is something going on. And that should absolutely be commended. I would love to have a conversation with him.
Me
and
too.
see what the change is, because it does seem to be a perceptible change in things. But if anything, I think, what is it? He just got an award here recently, right? Yeah, and good for him. He deserves.
From who?
More. I forget who it was. I can't think.
Was
of
it the? It wasn't the Cosmic Conscious Awards, was it?
I don't know.
Not sure. I'll find.
Yeah, but he should get more. I mean, it's easy for people who are deep into the subject to hate on the guy because they don't think he does enough. It's the same people. Anytime a documentary comes, people, well, he didn't have this information, and we already know all that. No one takes into account that the majority of the population doesn't know these things. And when they come out, it is new to them. To the diehard crazies like us, who are very mentally unwell, yeah, we're all about it, right? Like, that's not enough. We need more. But for, to John Jones living down the street and Mr. Smith, who aren't into this, him and his wife happen to catch the documentary, and they're, whoa, he's a real emergency room doctor talking about this stuff.
And
maybe
left
we should look
that
into
career.
He left that career.
And
Yeah,
I did look. I did actually vet, because I was always a little weary about that. I looked into it. The dude was making mucho. I mean, he was the lead. Like, he was above. So I don't know what it means in the medical world, but he was the supervisor of this, like that So he had a cushy job and he left it to pursue this.